Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's September 30th, 2024, and here in Canada, it is National Truth and Reconciliation Day, which for right now means that federal employees and schools are off and regular retail is still working for some reason. Now, if you're not sure what National Truth and Reconciliation Day is, it is a day of remembering, a day of apologizing, a day of reflecting on some of the misdeeds that we've done in this country towards the Aboriginal people. It is remembering the residential schools and all the lives that were lost to those young children that were there. And yeah, it is not a pleasant day. But the flip side, which is very interesting and conflicting about this holiday, and even to use the word holiday isn't the right word, really. We want to celebrate Aboriginal culture, Aboriginal language, and remember that this is their land. They were here first before European settlers arrived. And so today we celebrate and we remember the things that have happened in our past, and we try not to go forward and do more harm in this nation. We want to make sure that we're all equal, that we're treated equal, that we profess what we've always said Canadians are, that we're an open people. We celebrate cultures and religions and the values of countries from around the world that come here to make Canada home. We are not the melting pot, we are the quilt, the patchwork. And so today is one of those days where we kind of have to look at our ugly past and say, we haven't always been that way. And going forward, we want to be better. So today, we got two parts. We're going to talk about Truth and Reconciliation Day with regards to the stamps that were issued. So for the last 3 or 4 years, since this has become a statutory day, and I don't want to say holiday either. It is kind of a holiday though. Some of us get it off. But since it was introduced, stamps have been coming out from Canada Post. And they are usually orange. Now, I don't have an orange shirt, but today is the day that we say Orange Shirt Day. If you have one, wear it, because it is a symbol that you are thinking about the lost children from the residential schools, first and foremost, and that you kind of support what's going on. Now, I didn't wear black as a protest, so don't take it that way. I wore black because this was the shirt that was on the top of the pile when I pulled it off getting dressed today, because that's kind of the style of dress that I do. I grab things from the top of the cleanest pile, and that's what I wear that day. So we're going to show you the stamp that came out. And I think I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to go to these envelopes that arrived from Christian last week. And Christian is in Australia, and he's been generous enough lately to be sending me philatelic material. So whether it's first day covers or postage stamps from Australia, he's been sending me some of those things too. So I wanted to show you what he sent in those two envelopes. So we're going to start with the heavy topic, as we've already done with what's happening today here in Canada. And I want to show you the postage stamps because it is a celebration of Indigenous culture and artwork, and the stamps are really beautiful. I've really enjoyed the ones that have come out in the past. Now, there was a series that have come out, I believe it was 2 years ago, that actually showed pictures of the residential schools, and so it was a somber postage stamp. I mean, very appropriate for what we're doing. Last year was more colorful artwork, and we're gonna have a little bit of that again this year in this issue. So this is the nice green folder, the nice orange folder, colorblind. Let me read what's on the back of it. It says, in partnership with the Survivors Circle of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, this series of stamps seeks to raise awareness about residential schools and the legacy of trauma and abuse that continues to have an impact on Indigenous people today. The artwork chosen by the Survivors Circle for the third year of the series was completed by the survivor artist Robert Burke, Helen Agupta, and Adrian Stimpson. These works reflect the artist's experience at residential schools and express resilience, cultural resurgence, and the hope for a better future for all children. So that is what's on the outside. On the inside, we find 6 stamps, 3 original and 3 duplicates. And you can see the works there. The artwork by the 3 artists, and up there is the artist. And the print on this is exceptionally small. So I put my glasses on now. The glasses that I wear, and you don't see me wearing glasses very often because I use it for night driving and for reading subtitles on TV shows and movies, so things from farther away. Usually things up close, I'm okay reading. But the print on this is so small, it is a real strain for me to read it, so I don't think it's worthwhile me straining here reading about Robert Burke or the other 2 artists. If you get the stamps, you can read it. You're not going to be able to even pause it to read what it says there. It is so small. I'll bring it in nice and close, so hopefully a focus, but it's very small. So I'm going to instead let the art do the talking and move my fingers out of the way because they are beautiful stamps. I really like them. I appreciate what the artists have done here. I like the fact that it is the experience of people that actually gone through the residential schools. So we talk about the trauma that has unfolded from families that have had their children taken away and never returned, from those children that have had to go into the system and have their cultural identity stripped away from them and changed as a result of that, and left with a sour taste of what the Canadian government is like and probably what European Canadians' attitudes are towards them. And for this, we are deeply embarrassed and deeply sorry. And it is one of those things. As a Canadian, I've not had a lot of contact with the Aboriginal people and their cultures. Sure, we've gone to different areas where there are reservations, which is another atrocity that we've taken Aboriginal people at one point in time and said, we're going to take all the rest of the land, we're going to put you on this land, and that land sometimes has not been given its due. It's not been upkeep, it's not had good water, lots of things have happened there. And so even as someone who isn't directly responsible for the actions that are there, we still feel for the people that are there. I recently watched a documentary on the Tragically Hip. If you don't know who the Tragically Hip are, they are a iconic Canadian band, and until 2017, they were still performing when their lead singer, Gord Downie, passed away from inoperable brain cancer. And yeah, this is a bit of a downer, but one of the things that Gord Downie was very passionate about and wanted to do more for was the Indigenous people. He performed, the Tragically Hip performed concerts in remote locations so they could be a part of it. He did poetry and wrote songs about their history, and he was one of the white Canadians, if you want to say, that was probably instrumental on getting the government to do something, to start doing something. And so it's kind of a powerful documentary. One, it's beautiful for the music and the history behind it, but there are some great messages that are in there that this band did to try to help promote Canada and to put a spotlight on some of the atrocities of our past, but also some of the wonderful stories of our past too. So that is Truth and Reconciliation Day for today. So if you've made it this far, I hope you've been enlightened. I know I still have more to be enlightened about. So those of you that are quickly wanting to get on your keyboard and correct any mistakes that I have made or shout outs about things. I do take positive comments, and I do take constructive, in a positive way, criticisms to heart, and I love learning things, and if I've made a mistake, I want to be made aware of it, but I don't want to be shamed for it, so either. All right, let's move on to part number 2, and that's the envelopes that arrived from Christian. So, first of all, he sent this big envelope, and inside the envelope, he sent some philatelic material that he said I thought I might like. Well, we have this one here. It says, hello again, I hope you like this little package of stuff to add to your collection. And so this is the America's Cup from 1983, and you can see the stamp and the cancellation are on there. You can see the bottom of the boat there as well too. So that was an interesting piece that arrived. This is a blank postcard, but it is mail oriented. So this is the loading of the mail at the docks circa 1930. That's kind of an interesting postcard, so that one can go out to other people's because it is blank. We have an airmail aerogram envelope. So that's kind of interesting to see too. Never been used, brand new there. So very nice. And then we also have this Antarctic Regional Wildlife envelope with the penguins, very cute. So that's something else would be very interesting to send off, never been used before either. So thank you, Christian, for those. But you weren't done. You sent this envelope with these stamps. Did I mention, or did I show the cute stamps that are on there? There we go. All right. And then you sent this envelope, which is also an Antarctic Regional Wildlife. It's the same one that you sent to me, but now in used format. And inside, you sent a little letter and an envelope. And he says, I recently got a large collection of unused lower denomination stamps and thought you might like some for your collection and or giveaway, which will be very useful. So in this case, I've got to take the camera and point it down so you can see what's on the table. Here you can see Christian sent a block of 7-cent Australian stamps. Looks like lawn bowling. And then here we have Queen Elizabeth, 6-cent stamps. Nice amount of those. And then some 2-cent Australian block stamps. There's another 2-cent bird. The finches would have been good for the bird giveaway, I guess. Could use them for that. 6-cent rotary stamps. I used to be a Rotarian at one point in time when my life and my job that I was doing at the time allowed me the time to go to the meetings and things. And then we have this, the Antarctic Territory stamp, 7 cents. We have a 7-cent tennis. We have a stack of the 2-cent stamps. Agate, 7 cents. And 2 blocks of these 6 cents, which is the Sydney Stock Exchange anniversary. Let me just flip this one around because it's going the wrong direction. There we go, 7 cents. Postal Union. And then another block of the Queens, but the 7 cents. And then 7 cents here as well, block. So there's a whole bunch of blocks of unused Australian stamps. The ones I know that people really collect are the ones that have the numbers on the blocks. You can see there in the middle. Those are very sought after, or if they had the little kangaroos and things up in the corners that the stamps from Australia have, those are also sought after. Thank you, Christian, for sharing all these stamps with me and with us to go out. You can see in the background, sorry, the ray of sun that's coming through. It is going to be about 18 degrees here today. We've had a couple days of moisture and rain, and we've had a little bit of a sunny break here the last couple days too. So it's kind of been a mixture of the two. If you got a chance to see my rocks or the Hopewell Cape or the Hopewell flower pots or however you want to call them, that video with my niece and nephews, we did have a fire on Saturday night here in the fire pit in the back, so that was kind of nice to be able to use that. It had rained earlier, but we got enough dry stuff together that we made it work. Well, today is a day of things going on still. One of my nephews is still here. He leaves tomorrow. So tonight I am doing barbecue ribs. And right now, you might even hear it in the background. There is a pot of water that is boiling because I'm getting ready to pre-boil, parboil the ribs. And then what I do is I put them with barbecue sauce and I bake them at a low temperature for several hours during the day. And then finally they go on the barbecue and get their nice grill marks and crisp up and caramelize with a bit of the barbecue sauce and brown sugar. And that's how I make ribs here. So I'm in the process of doing that while I create this video. And then I also have a video for tomorrow that I have to start, well, continue to prepare for, and that is Stamp of the Month. Tomorrow is October 1st. We start a new month, so we're going through the whole calendar of things all over again. So today is going to be a very busy day. Even though I am off work, I have a ton of things to do to prepare. And also tomorrow's World Postcard Day. So I have been writing postcards like crazy. They're all going to go off in the mail tomorrow when I go back to work. So they'll get their October 1st stamp on them. I still have a few more to do for those as well. And then also when my nephew comes over, we're going to work on some Lego. So there's a set of Lego, the little cactus series that we're going to work on today. So you might see a picture on Instagram with the finished product of that as well. Okay. I gotta go. I don't know what you guys have to do today, but have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?